All right.
Hello, Gun Nation. It is saying we are live. So we'll give it a couple of seconds and wait till everything catches up. Y'all can let me know if it's truly live. It says we are.
It's usually like a couple of seconds delay.
Yeah. How y'all doing this evening?
Doing fantastic. Yourselves?
Living the dream, man. What about you, tactical considerations?
I'm living, man. I'm in a free state, so I'm living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear
Way
you.
to rub it in, guys. Way to rub it in.
We had to start that way.
Yeah, I mean, we can't show guns, but we could bust out full-size mags.
Oh, I'll show these guns, bitches, right there. Bang,
There
bang.
you go. There you go.
Just got
But
banned.
yeah, everyone, thank y'all for joining the chat tonight. We would like to introduce Tactical Considerations. He has been on the chat before, but it was a long time ago. So we're going to do this again. And if you'll notice, he did leave a comment, a couple of comments, or a comment in the chat. So you can go in to his icon and subscribe to his channel that way. It's super easy. So y'all go check him out if you're not already subscribed, and you might be. Anything fun and exciting that y'all want to talk about right off the bat? I've got some questions that I'm going to be asking y'all or asking us. But do y'all have anything that you'd like to discuss right off the bat?
Can I just say one thing?
Sure.
I would like to mourn the 125 million people that have been murdered by guns, according to Joe Biden. That's a tragedy, guys. About a third of our population of the United States has been murdered over the past 11 years. So
He doesn't even know what year he's in. He doesn't know anything or how many trillions and billions of dollars.
just unbelievable. 125 million people. No, Joe.
The guy hurts my brain. That's all I can say.
They need to
sad.
take away his AARP card for sure.
Yeah, the last two molecules that he's got left in his brain are fighting over that last molecule of oxygen. Bad. He's hurting.
Yeah.
He's hurting.
He's definitely in trouble, man. But and I wanted to ask y'all this, since y'all are YouTubers also. What are you thinking about these YouTube bots? Are y'all getting hit with these YouTube bots? Like, let's be YouTube friends.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
yeah.
I got hit with a bunch of those on YouTube and on Instagram, but what I just got told by a couple of viewers was they're being like shadow unsubscribed from my channel, and that they're not getting notifications anymore. A couple people had to go and resubscribe, or when they tried to find videos on my channel, if they didn't type the whole thing, it was like held from the search.
Wow.
Which is weird because that wasn't the case like a couple of months ago. So yeah, I don't know what's going on.
YouTube kind of goes through those modes every once in a while where they begin to shadow ban, they begin to make people disappear. I mean, again, I don't think any of us are ever going to figure out what actually their process is, because I don't think they actually know what it is. And if they do, they're not telling it and they're not sharing it. So not surprising.
Here's a good one. Hey, man, let's be YouTube friends. It's Biden.
Oh, let's do this.
Yeah.
Besties for life, Joe.
But yeah, I'm getting pummeled with the bots, man. On one video, I got 12, and it's the same guy. It's that NY something.
Yeah.
I've been posting on Instagram, but NY Beats or something. But he hit me like 8 times, and then his second channel hit me like 4 times. And so I'll delete them and then say, spam and all that. And it'll be gone for like a day, and then it comes right back. So I don't know if this guy just has 9 million channels. I don't know what he's doing.
That's like an auto feature to try and get subscribers.
Man,
It's actually,
if you can't do it on your own, man, don't freaking do it. That shit is so irritating. But I did want to also give a major shout out to Ranger 10. He was the very first comment this evening.
Was he?
That's pretty cool. But yeah, and I was gonna say it looks like the chat's filling up pretty quick. But
Can you highlight his comment for us?
Which one?
Ranger 10, his first comment at 7:45.
Oh, let's see here. I can go back, man.
Yeah, scroll up.
Yep, I am.
Yeah, I see some familiar names in there. C. Kim's in here, Rabbi. I see a bunch of names.
No, it won't let me go that far. It's already too far.
Oh, that's too bad. He basically said Yankee Marshall's a douche. So
yeah,
that was worth highlighting.
And apparently that's what they're saying. I guess he's in a fight with Hickok 45, but
again,
another cat fight.
But I mean, he does that to stir the pot. We all know that. Stirring the pot apparently in his mind gets views, but whatever.
Maybe.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Not into that, man. I got enough drama in my life as it is.
Exactly. Links Defense is in the house. We appreciate you, sir.
Hello.
Harry's
Hello.
in the house.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Of course, all the usual suspects. Yeah, here's a good one too. Who gives a crap about the Yankee Marshall or Hickok 45? I agree.
About 1 million people, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that too. But one quick or some questions that I have. I want to kind of get through these real quick, and we could talk about some stuff. Tactical, do you want to tell people about your channel, what all you enjoy doing, things like that, in case they haven't subscribed or they're not aware of you?
Yeah, man. So I appreciate that. So thanks both of you guys for actually having me on. I appreciate it. I was on this a while back with Russ. Rest in peace, I guess. He's not gonna be back for a while, but yeah, no, it's just a lot of fun. It started kind of as like almost like a dare kind of joke. I was helping a buddy with some stuff, and it was kind of weird how it started. Got into it. I've always had a ton of guns. I've always been into guns, military, law enforcement, all that stuff, and taught for all kinds of stuff. I mean, just taught a ton of stuff, and I figured, kind of translate that over into YouTube. So from pistols to Glocks to 1911s, which is where my heart kind of rests and lies. I love the CZ stuff. I got a ton of rifle stuff. I was just editing a ton of video today, a bunch of aero precision, some ballistic advantage stuff, just anything, man. Anything that goes bang, I'm pretty much into it. Cars, I've been building hot rods since I was a little kid with my old man. It's just about having fun, about spreading some information, and kind of big thing to me is like when I was a young guy in the military, when I was a young officer, I wasted like so much money on garbage gear or garbage parts or whatever, because you just don't know any better. Mm-hmm. This is before YouTube like really, really took off. And a lot of guys started putting really good information out there, because back in the day, it was like, if you had a channel and you produced decent content, you got huge. Or now it's like totally different, So part of what I always wanted to do is like steer people in the right direction to not waste their money, because not everybody needs like military grade optics. Not everybody needs, certain bags, and everybody's got a budget. And I try to find and do reviews on stuff that fits a place, a purpose, and a budget. And that's kind of my big thing is, so I'll review a lot of things, but what budget is it in? What category does it fill? Is it like a civilian competition? Is it law enforcement, or is it a straight up military style item? Or it's got to be able to withstand like the rigors of combat, So that's kind of mostly what I'm about.
Cool. One quick question for both of y'all. Do you buy gear just to review on YouTube?
You want me to take that one first?
Yeah, man, go.
Let it rip.
I have bought things to review, but they were things that I probably would have eventually purchased anyways. Okay. Most of the stuff that I review are things that I am very interested in, that I want to know something about. And I'm kind of lucky enough to where I've got a little bit of disposable income where I can buy things and kind of be like, hey, this is no good, or hey, this is good, or it'll serve this purpose. Mm-hmm. But I generally, I like to review things that I actually would buy. If it's something that I wouldn't buy, then I'm not a salesman. So if I wouldn't buy it, or at least try it, it's probably not something I would review.
Okay. What about you, 17?
I'm about in the same ballpark as that. I mean, I'm not going to just buy things to review just to do it. If I'm going to buy something, I'm going to buy something that I want and that I'm interested in, that I think other people might want as well. You guys know that my moniker is that I'm as cheap as I can get, but I also want to get things that, the common guy can do. I mean, like we've always talked about, it's good when people have a lot of money and they can spend it on a lot of things, and that's fine. But, the majority of people who own these guns and who are shooting probably don't have that. So I always try to keep it on a level that makes sense. And I know for some people, they always give me crap. Well, why don't you just sell these 4 guns and then buy this one big gun? And for me, I just can't ever justify those huge sales. And again, I do it when I can. I mean, I have 2 kids and they're young, so a lot of my money goes to them and their sports and to everything else. So whatever I have left over, is usually something that I can put towards a new firearm, whether it's a rifle or a handgun. And in that aspect, if I was going to wait for a high-end item, I'd be waiting forever, because it's just, there's so many other things that take precedence for me. When they move out and they're in college or whatever, done with college, then, I'll go out and buy myself something really, really nice. But right now it's just not plausible. And at the same time, for me, it's not necessary. I mean, I try to just keep it as general so that the common Joe and Jane can understand, my perspectives on things.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, I only buy and use gear that I personally want either to test or that I would use. I don't just buy the next thing out just to do a review on it. That's not me. And then even like if people send stuff in or, call or email or whatever and say, hey, do you want to try this out? If it's something I'm not even interested in, I'll just say no, thanks. Because I'm not going to, waste my time or waste their time if it's something I'm not even interested in, because it doesn't do either one of us any good. So, but yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, let me just add something real quick. I've been getting emails from these random like companies through whatever, and they sell like the cheapest shit. And I mean, could I do it? Sure, if I wanted to just do a video, but the stuff that they have to me is just not worth it in regards to, because there's cheap and then there's cheap garbage. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting cheap. That's still decent. But then there's always those products that are just junk. And I don't have time to waste to kind of do that stuff.
That's,
I guess I'm getting a little bougie or something.
That's my struggle with Olight.
Yeah.
It's like I've actually I ran their Valkyrie minis and stuff. I ran a couple of them. I shaved my head, by the way. So
welcome to the club.
Oh man, I couldn't take it anymore. It was growing around my ears and shit. Yeah, so I tried a couple of those Olights, man, and I ran them through like legitimate building searches, and they just didn't hold up, man. I burned through those lights so fast. They still work, but they just heated up so fast.
Oh yeah,
in Arizona, they were useless. And then I've had to like lend people my additional lights that were extra because theirs went down. I was like, man, the thing is, it's like it's a decent light. Like I love their handheld stuff. I got my keychain one, but these dudes that are running these on their pistols, especially guys that use them for work, I'm like, oh, dude, no, that's a bad idea. Yeah. Plus, think it's like, how are you going to recharge that in the field when that light goes down?
Yeah.
You ain't. You're screwed. So, plus their marketing, dude, that marketing kills me.
Oh, it's well, you and I have talked about that, separately, and that guerrilla marketing is. And it's pretty crazy, but once I blew that one off that my Mossberg 590A1, when that thing exploded, I was like, I'm done. Yeah. But like I said, I'm not trying to, if that's what the chat people like, hey, more power to them. I'm not discrediting anybody. It's just that's the good thing about us, and everyone, we have choices, so you can choose that. You can choose whatever you want. So that's a good thing about choices. And we've got a question here, and this is actually really good. So we're on the lights. We just kind of jumped on the lights. What pistol lights do y'all recommend? What do y'all like?
I've been running Streamlights for a long time. I ran Surefires. I ran Surefires solely when I was in the military, and I got out and I looked for an option that was good, but semi-affordable because I was broke when I got out. So I started carrying Streamlights, and I had a Streamlight TLR1 when they were only, I think it was like 80 lumens, man. And that light lasted probably 10 or 15,000 rounds, 3 different duty guns. And it finally died after about 7 or 8 years. Yeah. So it was a tank. And as a lot of people, there's kind of like an adage out there. People say there's Surefire, there's Streamlight, and then there's everything else. But there are a couple of other companies out there that are semi-new that I'm really hopeful for, and on the topic of Olight things, people are like, oh, it's Chinese junk. Well, the Chinese people are capable of making some really good stuff. I mean, look at the DJI drone. It's like, it's an amazing drone, but there, a lot of products that come out of there are, let's just face it, a lot of the Chinese made stuff is junk. But I stick with Streamlight because I find it's a really happy medium between the quality, longevity of life, brightness, 800, now 1,000 lumens on the TLR1 HL. And it's $115. It's no more expensive really than the Olight stuff, and it's going to last. It's durable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What about you?
I would go Streamlight. I mean, I think it's the Olight is kind of an interesting flashlight because actually on my home gun I have an Olight on there, but I'm not necessarily going to be throwing it through a meat grinder or anything like that soon. I think they work. I think Olight is decent in regards to. Maybe not an everyday beat the shit out of light, I personally don't carry pistol lights. I don't carry with them. I have a light in my pocket, and that's about as far as I'm going to go. To me, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, which I probably am. I don't ever see myself getting into a situation where it's pitch black out. Now, I know some people might say, oh, well, you never know. you're right. You never know, and I may be unprepared for that, but you know, I don't go out with a light and attached to my firearm. I just don't. I don't do it. Like if I need it, I got one in my pocket that's small.
Somebody commented in there, it's Romans 6:23 said a light's just a light of sight, and I don't plan on doing ninja stuff with it, so a light for me.
Yeah.
But that's good. Like OLIGHT, and this is kind of where when I talk about doing reviews for a purpose, civilian carry, a little bit of EDC, a home gun or something like that, I think OLIGHT's a good fit. Me carrying a gun for a living, I can tell you right now, if my light goes down and I can't properly identify and I get in an engagement, I'm in deep stuff. I'm in trouble.
Right.
And you're talking about people's lives here. So, you know, comes work related carry, stuff like that. You got to have a good light. You can't have a subpar light that's going to go down on you or lose charge or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And I think you said it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as far as me answering the question, you know, I'm a big Streamlight fan. I've been running them forever, even way before they started sending stuff out for testing. You know, I've bought many of them. I have tons of them. I really like them. Matter of fact, I'm testing 2 of them right now, and I've got a review coming on those. Also do like Surefire. You know, I've got the X300 and I've been running it for a while, and so far it's been really bulletproof. But it all comes down to what you're going to do with it. I mean, 90% of the people, you know, aren't going to be just like beating it on stuff and doing crazy stuff with it. But I will say this, if I'm ever in a hospital and, you know, we know about the zones, but a movie theater, stuff like that, yes, you can use a handheld, and I carry one in my pocket also. But if you have that extra, it's never a bad thing. But can a handheld get you by? Yeah, I mean, you can shoot with it, you know, all that. And then all this, you know, if they see the flashlight, they'll know where to shoot, you know. You know, it is what it is. But you know, and I've heard good, you know, people are talking about you know, Phoenix and all that. I've heard good things about them. I personally never used one, so I don't want to, if I haven't used it, I don't want to give opinions on it.
I've got some of those coming.
Okay.
So I'm really interested to try them as well.
Yeah. And a lot of people say they're really good. So
yeah.
Let's see here. And like I said, if you run OLIGHTs, we're not beating them up. It's not, you know.
Oh, there's definitely a place for them.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm talking about certain things, like I said, I keep it in certain categories. Is it like duty rated, military related, or like civilian EDC carry? I kind of try to have those because I'm thinking budget, quality, what is it going to be used for?
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of how I try to go about things, because not everybody's going to be using it for work. Not everybody's going to be using it for guns. They're going to have to go, you know, and experience extreme concussive blasts and things like that. So.
Yeah, and that's why one thing that I always do, and I've always done this, is I'll test any weapon light on a 12 gauge shotgun. That's just one little thing I do. And if it can't withstand a 12 gauge shotgun, if you drop it or, you know, whatever, if you bang it on something, you know, that bang or that little shock could, you know, knock it out. So that's why I test them on those, but that's just me. I have never used a night core. Have y'all?
Nope.
Okay. I have not. I've seen them. I just haven't used them.
Yeah.
They look like they roll off the same factory line as OLIGHT with just different buttons.
Yeah, and hell, they probably do. Another question. This is for both of y'all. What if you can only pick one, or it can either be a brand or it can be a type or model, but what is your favorite pistol or handgun?
You better not say Beretta.
No, it's not. No, not for me.
I'm just kidding, man.
They're nice, but they're not. You know.
No, I know.
They're not that nice. I mean, for me, it's always going to be the P01. I mean, that's just that's my gun.
Okay. What about you?
Kimber Tactical Entry 2.
Okay.
It was my work gun for probably 6 or 7 years. And it's funny, I got a couple 1911 videos coming out, and if you don't, I mean, you guys know how 1911s are. If you don't run them, they'll run you. Yeah. And I haven't been shooting them as much. I think the last time I busted that one out before this video was probably 7 months ago.
Yeah.
So man, I was running it and I was so rusty. My mag exchanges were garbage. My reloads were garbage. I mean, normally I could run that gun and it was wicked fast, like stupid fast. And it's like I first carried it again. So I wasn't going to hide that from the viewers. So when you watch those videos, when they come out, watch my other videos where I'm reloading what I'm carrying right now, and you'll see how fast I actually am.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Kimber's a great gun, man. So
yeah. I mean, if I have to pick a favorite handgun of all time, it would be a 1911. Yeah, I'm a big 1911 fan. I mean, that's what I grew up shooting, and I really enjoy them. And of course, I love my CZs and you know, all those. But 1911 is where the heart is, and
Yeah.
I've got a lot of time behind them in the past, and I definitely enjoy shooting them.
70 or 80 series.
I actually have both, but you know, I've got the STI that I just tricked out and put an optic on it, and man, that thing is it's freaking money. It's got the SBI trigger in it. It is awesome.
Yeah,
Really,
STI,
really enjoy it.
STI picked their game up, man. For I'll say probably about 10 years ago, man, I wouldn't have carried an STI to save my life. They've had some serious problems, but they seem to have really turned that around with the new stuff. I remember their guy picked up probably 4 or 5 of them several years back in a gun store, and they were all rusted out, brand new out the box. So yeah, they've changed the game a lot, man, especially with that 2011, the DVCs and the autos. God, they're nice, man.
Yeah, they are. And you know, you're going to pay a price for them, but
Oh, yeah.
you know, that kind of brings up a point. You know, the 2011s or the 1911s. You know, 1911s is where it grew. You know, I grew up on it. But the 2011s are definitely nice. Just some of them don't fit my hand with the safeties. It just tears a hole in my knuckle. You know, some of them do, some of them don't. But you know, and you know, Rabbi brings it up, and I was actually going to say it. That's why I'm actually excited about the DWX, because it's kind of a 1911/CZ, and you know, you kind of get the best of both worlds. So very excited about that one. Now, since we have the favorite pistol, what's the favorite rifle? Or it can be a long gun, AR, shotgun, whatever. Just rifle, shotgun. What's the favorite? And you can pick one rifle and one shotgun if you want to.
What do I pick?
Choices.
I mean, shotgun. I have 590 A1.
Okay.
My favorite shotgun ever. It's a beast. Rifle. Shit, I don't know. You know, since we're limited as to what we can own here. I mean, I know I like AKs better than ARs, but I think if I had to pick one rifle, what are you laughing at, man? I do. I like them better.
I know. It's
an acquired taste.
The AK. No, I dig AKs, man. I can't lie. They're good. They're the only gun platform in the world that was designed so well you can fuck it up so bad.
Exactly.
It just won't run forever.
It's stupid proof. That's why I love them. You know, they're so easy.
There are some setbacks with the AK platform.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the biggest is probably accuracy. I think is long distance accuracy. You know, but you know, I'm not shooting anybody 100 yards out, man.
Yeah, it depends on who makes it. You got Rifle Dynamics out there. They're 5.45 AK platforms. My God.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got 590 and an AK.
Yeah, but I don't think I would pick an AK. Honestly, if I was going to pick a gun, and this is going to be so counter every norm of society right now, I would pick a lever action, some form of Marlin lever. I love lever action guns, man. I love them.
They are cool. What about you, Tactical?
The shotgun, 930 SPX, even though I broke one in half. God, rifle wise, it's tough because I grew up in the military with my M4, but there are, there's nicer platforms out there, piston guns, all that stuff. I think probably a really cool rifle to own and shoot that is now durable, had a little bit of problems when it first started, is the POF brand piston guns, man. They're pretty cool. I think other than that, just because of familiarity and the fact that I'm good with them, that's probably what I would have to go with. I mean, there's other things that are cooler, but I just don't have enough time on them or could own one. I can't go buy an MP5 or something,
Yeah, for my shotgun, it would be a 930. I'm a big Mossberg fan, and that's strictly because, like, on Remingtons and stuff with the safety down in the trigger, down there, my hands are just so big. It's just not, I like the quick safety if you're going to use it. So I'm a big 590A1 fan. And then for rifle, I'm a 308 guy. So I would say my Lancer L30 heavy metal. It's a freaking blast to shoot. It's a great gun. It runs anything. Sometimes it runs me, but
I haven't even shot a Lancer rifle yet, man.
No.
Hey, you want to know what's sad is I got a couple of the guys' Lancer cell phone numbers in my phone, and I haven't shot one of their rifles yet, dude.
They're freaking nice rifles. I mean, I love it.
Yeah, I've got got some pretty cool rifles coming in real soon. So
Cool.
we'll be
Yeah.
doing some stuff.
Yeah, I'm just a 308, fan because that's what I've shot for so long, and I know a lot of guys are 6.5 and stuff. And to be honest with you, I've shot 6.5, but I don't have a lot of experience with them. So, and I'm not a long range, guy. And I know they're making AR platforms in 6.5 now. I know some of them don't run, as well when they first came out, but I know there's some that are running really well now. But that's just what I grew up shooting, and that's what I enjoy. So I've got several 308s.
308's a great round, man. But
Yeah.
I got a 6.5 bolt gun coming from JJ Rock.
Okay. I'm not familiar with them.
Oh, you got to check that. The guy one of the owners was a guy I served with in the Rangers. He was a sniper guy.
Oh,
He
cool.
builds like the Super XL Actions, the 375 Shytex, King of 2 Miles competitor.
Wow.
So I broke into everybody I know's piggy bank and told them to build me a rifle and build it in 6.5. But
Sweet.
you should check them out, man. They build some super sick guns, man. They're expensive. You are going to pay a premium for what he builds.
They probably weigh like 22 pounds also.
It's not too bad, but these are for dudes. They're for guys that like to compete at extreme distance.
Right.
Yeah.
So
those are awesome. Those are awesome rifles. Matter of fact, I was, I like 22s a lot too. And I was watching a 22 video, and I guess they make Voodoo. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they make precision 22s. This guy had a 22-pound 22 LR rifle.
How's that even possible?
Dude, this thing was a beast. I was like, it's a heavy barrel, and it's like, this barrel was like this big, but of course it's tiny on the inside. But it's 22 pounds, and he was saying that he could shoot it like, it was something crazy. It was like 400 plus yards or something. I was like, holy shit. But I can imagine this rifle's probably $6 or $7 grand. It's something crazy, but it was for 22 championships, for just distance. And I was just like, wow, pretty impressive. If you have to pick one pistol for your EDC every day, what would it be? I'm cracking it today, man. I got the questions.
Glock 45 MOS.
Okay.
And the reasoning behind that is not because it's my favorite gun, because it's got the 17 mags, a little bit shorter on that slide, so it's a little bit more compact. And no matter where I'm at, there's probably in the state of Arizona 6 people next to me that have Glock 17 mags on them. So it's a no-brainer. Yeah. There are guns I like better, but that would be just because it's so prevalent, so easy, so common right there.
Yep. But you 17?
I don't know. I think I've been carrying a lot the M&P 2.0 compact. It just works for me. It's just a really good solid gun.
It's a great gun, man. It's a great gun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm, and I love my 19X, and I've always said, in a SHTF or whatever, I'm rolling with a Glock because you can find whatever you need. But I would say, just everyday grab and go, it's probably going to be the P10C or the P10F. Just the P10 platform. I'm a big fan of it. Works great for me, and plenty of mag capacity, and I even carry a backup mag, so I'm good there. But that's what I would say. Now, this is a valid question, and it brings in a really good point. Rabbi's asking, what position do all you guys carry in?
Holster, ankle holster, all day long.
Okay, there you go. No prison carry. No prison carry is allowed.
Belt buckle, does that count? I just carry strong side. I don't carry it. I've carried appendix. I just am not super comfortable carrying it that way.
Okay.
I almost, when I'm not working, I almost exclusively carry appendix, whether it's my current holster right now is a Gerber sidecar. That dude makes awesome stuff. So mag caddy and the holster. If I'm running light, I'll run like a Bravo concealment with just my weapon light and the weapon. But I'm almost exclusive in the waistband right there, appendix. Rarely I will carry in that 3 or 5 o'clock area, depending on like where I'm going or what I'm doing. But that just seems to be the best place for me. I can conceal my P10F on me with a weapon light and an optic on it. But I'm a little bit of a bigger guy, so I've got an easier time trying to hide stuff on me.
Yeah, I carry I carry appendix also, and what's funny is I can carry the P09 with the full comp on it, and people are like, "What are you carrying today?" And I'm like, "The P09 with a comp," and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah,
An AR pistol.
yeah." I was gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, Harry won't make me a holster for it, otherwise I'd carry my Scorpion. But
Right.
and then again, like even Double B's saying, it depends on how you're dressed. If I'm in a suit and tie and all that stuff, I'm not going to have the gun hanging out. But I might move it to the 3 o'clock if I know that I'm going to be doing that. But for the most part, it's appendix all the time. And a lot of people, oh, you're going to shoot your junk off. I don't know how many times I've heard that and got those comments too. But if you have a good holster, covered trigger guard, and you don't put your damn finger on the trigger,
Yeah.
Says the guy who's going to shoot his junk off.
Yeah. So let's see here. Okay. And we'll kind of get into this. And heck, I don't even think I've ever asked 17 this. What is your hobbies outside of guns? Like any hobby other than guns? Yeah.
Dead silence. So that's a no. There are no other hobbies. Are there any hobbies besides guns? I didn't even know those exist, I mean, hobbies, shit. I mean, I don't know. Like I tend to go to the gym an awful lot, probably more than I probably should. I was involved in a lot of mixed martial arts for a long time, and then I tore my bicep, and that would definitely slowed me down quite a bit. So I would say those were my hobbies. I don't golf. I don't find any satisfaction in golfing. I mean, I know most people do. I'm not built for that. I don't think I can stand it. It's I like driving the carts and drinking while everybody else is playing. But
I thought you were into badminton.
Yeah, I do play that a lot. Ping pong, those are great, competitive, edgy sports. So you'd be surprised. There's a lot of testosterone flowing in those, and no, I'm not at that point yet where I feel like I can't go whenever. So for me, maybe when I'm older, I'll play some golf, but I'll shoot some hoops. My son's big into basketball. My son's huge in lacrosse, so we'll do that a lot. I'm just very active with my kids. And that's really it. Just spending time with my family is my hobby, man. I'm a family guy, so that's really all I do.
What about you, TC?
So, man, I long time ago, a buddy of mine said he did something stupid, and we were laughing at him for it. And he said something to me. He said, "This ain't no practice life. You got to get it in while you can." So I do everything I can. I don't care if I think it's stupid. I build cars, build hot rods. I'm a huge Chevy guy, huge Studebaker guy. Love old Studebakers because that's what my old man grew up building. Corvettes, we grew up building those. Competed in bodybuilding. I was a judge for the NPC in bodybuilding and figure and fitness and all that stuff. So I literally will do dang near anything that I think will be fun. Mm-hmm. Besides golf, I'm with you on that one, Bust. I don't do the golf thing. I've tried it just didn't work.
Yeah, it just
wasn't for me. Yeah, so I'm not afraid to just try something that most people would think would be dumb, just because you don't know until you do it. And I've lost enough friends. I think we probably all have in this life. We've seen enough people go that had regrets or didn't get to do things they wanted to, and that's not going to be me. Yeah. When I leave, I'm going to say, you know what? I blew this shit up while I was here, and I'm done.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Yeah, I cars also. Technician from way back, built hot rods, even raced cars, not professionally, and had some pretty kick-ass cars. Did a lot of restos, ground up restorations, and so I did that. Started playing golf when I was about 25 years old, and then started actually doing a little long drive competitions and competed in that a little bit, and actually really good at golf. Matter of fact, I hadn't played in a long time. Went out about 3 months ago and shot a 72. So I've still got it, but I don't have the chipping goes, the putting goes. My drives are still there once I, first couple of drives off the tee box, and then I'm usually good after that. But I actually love golf. It's kind of went to the wayside with work and shooting, and but still enjoy it. And it's kind of like shooting because you're against yourself. You're playing for a score, and I've won a bunch of money at golf. So if you're good at golf, you can win some money too. So that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, some serious money.
So yeah, well,
one of the guys that works for me, man, him and his brother win tournaments all the time, and they cash.
And I compete in about 2 a year for company stuff, and we won quite a bit of money and won some really good stuff. They have nice prize tables when you play some of these big tournaments.
The last golfing experience I had was when I still live down south, and it was at a buddy's bachelor party. So it was a bunch of firemen, and you guys know how that probably went. So I just recall just hurling my clubs into the woods because I was so pissed. I remember a guy pulling his pants down, taking a piss off the green. It was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. I have to say it was quite a few laughs that day. But that was it for me for golf. You know what it is? I think it takes a certain mentality to play that sport, and I give everybody the credit who can do it. For me, I want to go fast. Everything's got to be quick, move, and I have not been able to find my inner chi when it comes to golf yet. So maybe some point I will, but it's not happening anytime soon. I'd rather join like a dodgeball league or something like that. That's where I still am mentally. So, a couple of years, man, maybe. My knees finally go and my back is shot. So
what's really funny about golf, a lot of people, and I've been seeing them in the comment, it takes beer to play golf and stuff like that. When I'm competing in golf and I know there's money on the line, I don't drink. But if it's like a charity event or something like that we're playing in, I'll have some drinks and stuff. But I take it pretty serious when there's money on the line. So, but getting a lot of information out there. What branch were you in? And thank you for your service. Romans is asking, what branch were you in?
I was in the Army, 2nd Ranger Battalion.
Cool. Yes, and definitely.
Just responded to him right there. It's a Ranger 10mm said Romans, and it said Army Ranger 2nd Valley. So cool. He either knows, or I don't know if he was saying he was, but responded to that one. It was a good time. Yeah. I was young and dumb and all the right kinds of stupid.
There you go. Hey, that's funny. Like, when I play golf and think about it, people have always joked around and said, a golf course is a big waste of a potential gun range. And so now when I play golf and I see all these beautiful areas, I'm like, man, you could put up a really nice target there. You could shoot over to here, and, but it has a lot in common. You're going for a target. So it's kind of cool. But let's see here. Okay. Did y'all have any comments or anything that y'all wanted to bring up? And we're going to take some questions, of course. I know a lot of people have been asking stuff, and we've been trying to get to them.
Just really quick, you guys know that Beretta is just fire sailing all of their APX models. So if you're looking for a Beretta APX, now's the time. They're under $300 in some places, and it's getting crazy. Yeah. I
sent you that deal. It was like, what was it, $289 or something?
I think it was $298 or some shit like that for a 6 years. Yeah.
God, did you see that? Well, I think it was we can't mention the site names on YouTube anymore, but there was a Palmetto named website that had like the M&P shield for like $199.
Yeah. The 1.0. Yeah.
Insane.
Just get rid of them while they can.
But talk about like, a lot of the people, they crack on like the Taurus G2Cs or the G3s, and they kind of buy a Glock. It's like, well, not everybody has the budget for that. And the last thing we want is people to be unarmed.
Yeah.
Right. So if somebody like $199 for an M&P shield, my God, that would be like, if you need something, you need to buy that.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people underrate or underestimate Smith & Wesson, but you've got a lifetime warranty with it. I mean, parts, labor, pay shipping. I mean, you really can't go wrong with them. They're great guns. And the triggers aren't the best, but you can put an Apex in it, fix that sucker right up, and you're good to go.
But they're better than a lot of striker fired stuff out there.
Yes.
So I mean, and Smith & Wesson, they've had their problems in the past, but what gun manufacturer hasn't?
Sure.
So anybody can have a bad run. I've seen Glocks that didn't work out of the box.
Yeah.
That had bad strikers in them. I mean, granted, it was a long time ago, but any company can have a problem with a part.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, my Smith has been flawless. It's been 100%.
Yeah.
And no problems with it at all. I've got the subcompact, and that I love that gun too. I mean, a lot of people, it's kind of interesting. There's really good feedback on the video because, I did the comparison between that and the P10S. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of interesting because I thought the CZs were going to run away with it, all the CZ fans. But actually, when I look back at all of the comments, I'd say it's fairly even. There's a Smith crowd, and then there's a CZ crowd. But I just think the M&P 2.0 series has just been amazing. And again, why still not a lot of hoopla over it? It surprises me. But again, it's the same thing with that Beretta. They just, I don't know if it's just the lack of interest from people, lack of marketing, maybe a combination. But the 2.0s have been absolutely solid, 100%.
Yeah, I think it's hard for companies to distinguish themselves right now, especially in the striker fire market, because Glock has such a stranglehold on law enforcement. Because one, I mean, let's just face it, the biggest thing that they have is they are cheap. They come in below most people's price points. They are machined so wide in tolerance that they'll run forever, and they are absolutely idiot proof.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah, I mean, they're easy to work on. You know, everybody talks about the simplicity of Glock, but the M&Ps have the same principle behind it. I mean, it's a couple of pins, 3 pins, and it's done.
Yeah, Guy Comment is asking
3 pins, you know.
Yeah, would you pay for would you pay for an M&P performance gun?
If it was, you know, I guess, you know, it'd be nice if they came out with the optic ready on some of the other models, but I don't know if I would, because you can do so much more if you buy one low budget wise and then you upgrade the trigger. You know, just with the Apex, you can change the springs out. You can go from a 3.5 pound pull to all the way up to a 6.5 pound or even 7. So I don't know why. I don't know if it would be worth it in that regard. Now, if it had the optic ready version and all that stuff, you know, lightning cuts, you know, maybe. But I don't know. I'd be hard pressed to do it at this point.
Yeah, I'm a little bit in the same boat. I mean, I have that 2.0 compact that Floyd's Custom did, and that thing is sick.
Yeah,
and you kind of compare what I paid for that as compared to a performance center setup.
Right.
I didn't spend any more money, and I got the Cerakote I wanted. I got the optic cut. I got just an insane slide cut that looks cool. Got a ported barrel out of it. You know, and then I put of course, the Apex trigger in there. That 3.5 pound trigger it takes it to a whole new level.
Yep.
Yeah, I put one in my buddy's gun, and he's scared to use it. He's like, "Oh, it's so light." I'm like, "We got to practice with it, man."
Yeah. I mean,
that's like, you know, back in the day, I had the Core Performance Center. They did performance, and then did a core, and then they did a core performance. And I had that one, and that was when it had the core optic cuts, you know. And that, I mean, it was a great gun. The trigger, it was better than the average one, but it still wasn't perfect. So I did put an Apex in it, and the gun ran great. It was very accurate, of course, more accurate than me. And I can't, you know, matter of fact, there's even someone I don't know if it's Grab a Gun or someone, but they're still blowing those things out, the old ones, and they were running smoking prices, but they might have sold out of them, but you know, they're good guns. So, and I think you know, Smith & Wesson was definitely late to the party on doing the optic cuts. I think if they would have had that out way earlier, man, they would have even grabbed up a lot of that market share.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, I mean, the other thing too is I wish, like, I mean, I know everybody's got to do their own thing, but I just really wish that everybody in the optics world out there would just go with the RMR style cut for pistol or for the MROs, man. Because let's just face it, you got Hollow Sun out there now, which is I have yet to find a problem with the Hollow Sun. I've heard a couple people had to get a hold of me that have had some issues, but no more than the Trigicon stuff. And then you've got a couple other companies out there, and that all seems that everybody out there, besides like Loophole and a couple others, are trying to do the RMR platform when it comes to mounting. I just wish they would just all go with it at this point, so we don't have to have different cuts, different platforms, different plates. I mean, they're the winner. Let's just give up everybody else. And just go with RMR's platform.
Yeah, I mean, they are great. I mean, I've got 9 Hollow Suns 507s, and I love every one of them. They work great, and I haven't had any issues. Knock on wood.
9?
Huh?
Did you say 9?
Yeah, 507s. Yeah, no, all my guns, they're pretty much all dotted. I'm a dot freak, so yeah.
Oh God, that's a lot of optics.
That didn't include the 2 Delta Point Pros and the 2 SROs and the RMR one. But yeah, I'm a big optic freak, and I have one Delta Point Pro that I'm having to send back. The whole quarter of the bottom is dead. So the dot goes down so far and then it just goes away. So it's fixing to go back, and you know, I mean, but they're making really good stuff, and their new stuff coming out, I'm pretty excited about too. So, you know, I just hope, you know, they don't start making too much stuff to where maybe their quality goes down, but so far so good.
Now, are you going to start selling off all your old stuff to buy the newer stuff, or what are you going to do with it?
No, I mean, it's still working fine. I do like, with the battery ports in the side or the battery trays, I do like that, or the top loads. That has a big benefit. So you don't have to take it off and put a, new battery in it, put it on. But so far, and that's one thing I've been testing is the battery to see how it's holding up. And I mean, I've had some of these for quite a while, and I've ran the hell out of them, and they're still working good. I've even got one on a 590, and I shot it, and it didn't flicker, didn't do anything. It worked fine. So we'll see if it holds up. So.
Yeah, the Hollow Suns they've been great for me, and I know probably 6 or 7 guys that had them for a while, and they're awesome. But the other one too is, I think me and 1776 talked about this a little bit, was the Swamp Fox one. You had a problem with yours.
Yep.
Dude, I've been running mine on some other stuff, and it's been working hard. And I was just emailing the dude from there today for their newer models to check a couple of those out, because that's one of those things where I see that as kind of like a hobbyist, maybe like a little bit of competition, little hobbyist, little EDC stuff. But it's in that price point where people that are testing the waters of the Red Dot can get in. So I'm kind of interested to see their new ones, because the newer ones they have are they're going to be top-mounted battery. They're supposed to be a little bit more durable, and they're supposed to have solved the battery issue in them.
Yeah,
which is kind of
that's what I had. I had an issue with the battery.
So
battery kept dying on me. I had I think 3 replacement batteries, and they all died. So then I had to send it back, and they wound up sending it to. They send mine to some guy in, I think it was like North Carolina, something like that.
Okay.
So I had to call him and say, guys, what are you doing? I don't live in North Carolina. So that, I have such weird luck sometimes when shit goes back and it comes back to me, it always goes somewhere else. So I guess they don't want to send anything to New York. Not that I blame them, but yeah. So they were cool about it. Very apologetic. And they rushed it out to me, so it was fine. And then it's been running, no issues. I will start it up and I'll shut it off and then run it a couple of days later. But I still have not bought into the whole optic world at this point. I'm just not. I'm not there. I don't know if I'm ever going to be there at this point. I know a lot of people say wait till your eyes go, and maybe at that point. But I still, for me, I trust the irons. I feel very good shooting with irons still. I need a little brightness up front as opposed to just the standard post. But I'm a firm believer that if you put your trust into any kind of technology, it is going to fail you. And that includes guns too, but at the same time, you have a handgun, it probably will have a lifetime well past what you're going to put through it. The optics, I'm still not sold on. The permanency of them. And I know that's, blasphemy right now, but I'm still not 100% on board with it.
It takes time, man. It's just like with a Red Dot. I don't know a rifle without an aim point. The first aim point, or the first rifle I was ever issued when I got to my unit, had an aim point on it. But when it comes to pistols, I was the same kind of boat, and I know the technology's gotten better and better to the point where it'll be there at some point. But I really think within probably the next 5 to 8 years, you're just going to see guns coming with Trigicons or whatever on them.
Yeah. See, I think it's even going to evolve past that. I think they're going to put something on these guns that make it almost automatic, where you just point and it goes there, so that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, there's going to be all kinds of crazy stuff.
A laser-guided missile, a laser-guided bullet. That'd be
we got
sweet.
a question from Keith Gregory. What about lasers on guns? What's y'all's opinion on lasers? Laser.
I mean, I had one on my shield. I liked it. I thought it was kind of cool. It was, it's cool. Like, come on, you got to admit it's pretty cool. Is it super practical? I don't know. I haven't shot anybody with it, but it was pretty on point, man. I liked shooting it. It was pretty cool to see this green laser going across the shooting range. Like I said, though, it's like anything else. Do you trust it? I don't know. But I thought it was kind of sweet. I thought it was kind of neat, to be honest.
What about you, GC?
Oh man, so that's like a cool 1980s SWAT movie thing.
That's what I'm saying.
and I get it. And there don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place for that. So working under night vision stuff, got a PEC 15, need a light laser, an IR laser, got a lot of time under stuff like that. But when it comes to a projected laser, there's a lot of problems that can come in right there. One of which is light, which are light. condition out? Are you going to see it? And when I've taught people that have had stuff like that, I can sit there as an instructor and look at them like this while they're shooting, and I can see their focal point changing from their sights to their dot, sights, dot, target, sights, dot, target, sights, dot, target. So their focal point is shifting, it's slowing them down, plus they become ultra dependent on it. Not only that, but I've seen so many of those things completely change what they're aimed at, that it's just bad. It's a bad idea to rely on. But I understand there is a place for them in certain circumstances, especially when it's IR.
I just thought it worked so well in that movie Cobra with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, dude, that 1949 Merc he had, don't bring that up, man. It's so beautiful.
My opinion on lasers on guns is, and I'm actually testing one right now, and I've had 2 other ones I've tested. One was a piece of junk. You would literally line it up, it would show it, you would shoot there, and then where your laser was, you would still hold the gun there, and then the laser would be over here. So it would lose, it loses adjustment instantly. This was on an older model. Testing one now. I could see a place for it if somebody's trying to get, like, as long as it's adjusted correctly and they're trying to get that one shot, maybe in a house or something like that, I could see a place for it. But most of the times when I see them, even at ranges and people are using them, it looks like a freaking light show. I mean, they're all over the place, not just with shooting, but with just hand movement. So I think if you're going to have one, definitely train with it and make sure that it's going to be locked into position and not moving around. Me personally, I'm not a laser guy, but a lot of people like them. So
can you put up Dave Gass's comment? I think that's an interesting comment he left there.
I was just responding to that too, about the self-defense is mostly point and shoot, and red dot thing is a phase. It's, he's got a huge point there. If you look at the FBI statistics on stuff, and having worked shooting scenes, both civilian and officer involved shooting scenes, they are super up close and personal. I mean, 9 times out of 10, you are touch distance when the shooting happens. But I've also seen plenty that were pretty good. I want to say one was about 35 or 40 feet away. So you were aiming pretty good at that point, especially when your adrenaline was going. So it's just, everything's situationally dependent. And I know that's kind of like an overstated thing, I guess.
Sure.
But
that's reality.
To prepare for a 25 to 30 yard and in shot with a pistol, because that's what's expected in a lot of cases. But generally I want to say probably 85% of shootings, whether they're law enforcement or civilian, are really up close and personal.
Now, let me ask you guys this. This has been something that we've always debated, and there's people out there who are of different schools of thought. So you got one side who says, don't fix your gun up. If it's a carry gun, don't put a trigger on it. Don't do this, blah, 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 blah. So, okay, so we shouldn't put a custom trigger on it. So no apex trigger or, nothing, right? But then you're going to put a red dot on there. So you're actually giving yourself an advantage, supposedly, on hitting your target. So doesn't that make you more lethal as a result? So wouldn't you be concerned carrying a gun with a red dot? So, that's something that kind of pops in my head, because there's always people out there, I'll never change the trigger on my self-defense weapon, blah, 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 but I'm going to put an optic that makes me more lethal. What? So
I think a lot of that comes to people confusing criminal law with civil litigation. So Aaron Cowan from Sage Dynamics actually did a really great video on this, where he talked about how to explain to a defense attorney why you did what you did to your gun. Now, there are certain things you can do. If you're the guy that runs around with a backplate in your Glock that says smile and wait for flash, or a dust cover plate like we had in Arizona that said something really stupid when somebody got in a shooting, you're going to pay. I mean, you're probably going to lose that civil suit, because a civil suit's 51% or greater, where criminal law is 99.9 beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right.
So when it comes to certain modifications, I actually looked into this not too long ago, and I could not find a criminal case where that was actually a determining factor. However, it had come up in criminal cases prior. But as far as people that are like, I would never do this with that, I would never do this with that, can you explain it? Why do I have front serrations? So I can control this gun. Why do I have stipple work? So I can better control it for safety reasons. It's all about how you explain it, and if you're talking civil, absolutely, they're going to fry you. Civil litigation, they're going to come after you. They're going to check your social media history. They're going to see all your stupid posts that you've said, oh, I would do this.
Right.
They're going to look at that, you know. So criminal, totally different scenario. And I think a lot of people cross that over with one or the other. But it's if civilly it's a factor, criminally, unless you're doing something just really weird like disengaging safeties or something, because then you can have negligence come into play, which
Right.
you would be criminally liable for under most statutes. Then I think it's kind of common sense. It's a common sense thing, really. I think.
Yeah. And I'm a member of FLP, which is Firearms Legal Protection, and I actually asked. They had 6 lawyers up there that only do firearms. They're firearms attorneys. That's what they do. They're not, you know, divorce attorneys, and then they play, you know, fireman or firearms guy. And I asked that question. I said, okay, what if you do a trigger? What if you do, you know, and at the time I wasn't doing dots, but I said, what if you do a trigger? What if you do all of this and these modifications? And they said there has been nothing proven, you know, in any of those situations. And then my point back to them was, okay, I've got 1911s with 1 pound triggers, you know, from the factory. That's the way they were made, or 2 pound triggers. So that takes the trigger aspect out of there. And the way I look at it is, if I mean to shoot you, I don't care if it's a 12 pound trigger or a 1 pound trigger. Is a good shoot is a good shoot. And that's the way I would look at it. And I would, you know, I would argue that all day. And I agree, if you're putting like, you know, flash, you know, look, you know, wait for the flash and smile and all that stupid stuff. I get that. I wouldn't do that either. But, you know, anything that could potentially make you a better shooter, or excuse me, you know, more accurate, etc. I look at it as a positive, because we've all seen it, man. And I have seen it at gun ranges. I've seen it in person. I've seen it everywhere. You know, the person trying to pull back that 12 pound trigger, you know, and they're meaning to hit this and they can't even hit a target 7 yards in front of them. You know, I don't want to be hit by that guy that can't control you know, that kind of a trigger. So, you know, I just say, if that's what you want to carry, you know, if you want to seek legal advice, ask it to a legal professional. But I'm going to carry what the hell I'm going to carry to defend myself and my family. So if it makes me more proficient and makes me a better shooter, that's what I'm going to do. So that's just the way I would leave it for me.
When you think about it, there's actually, you know, criminal aspect of it is when it comes down to some things is, does it shock the conscience, right? So the normal person, if they look at it and you have a trigger, they're like, why do you have that? Well, because it helps me control and shoot more accurately.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a backplate on my Glock that says you're effed. Why do you have that? Oh my God. You know, that's shock the conscience. If you think about it that way, it's that common sense factor.
You know? Yeah, and that's the way I look at it. You know, and I know a lot of law enforcement, even in my area now, some of them, not every one of the officers, but some of them are approved for red dots. So, and that's in my county. So if something happened in my county and I had to go to court, I have a red dot on my pistol, and they're like, why do you have that? I would say the same reason that officer has it, because, you know, it makes it more accurate. And the officer's not going to tell you, oh yeah, I put that on there just for fun and games. You know, I'm approved with it. I mean, it potentially can make you more accurate. Can you still be a bad shot with one? Yes. I mean, you know, I'm not, just because you Gucci up a gun doesn't mean you can shoot it. So I think it all comes down to hitting the bad guy, not the good guy, you know, stopping the threat and getting the hell out of there. I mean, you know, and also if you ever have to call for something like that, remember, you are always the victim. You are always the victim.
What if you have a unicorn on the back plate?
Rainbow unicorn.
Exactly.
Then you're a special kind.
Does that shock the conscience?
That's calming. You're trying to
yes.
Looking down.
That's the whole inner chi thing, right? You know.
Yeah.
So, why do you have a pink unicorn on your gun? Because it calms me.
Yes, it's my calming. It's my safe place.
My huzzah.
Yeah, I think Johnson, you talked about it was concealed carry or something like that, the insurance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people kind of look at that and they laugh. And it's one of those things where you got insurance on your car, you got insurance on your house, and I'm actually debating, even though I'm covered where I work and everything, because if I get in something, it's probably going to be covered under the color of law. But still, I mean, people don't understand, and I've seen this happen, what is going to happen after an engagement, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, we can tough talk it. We're alphas. We can tough talk it all day, but you're going to have some serious
Oh yeah.
Internal things to deal with, one, and two, what's going to come when their family throws their 8th grade photo up and says, "Oh, that was my baby."
Yep.
You know,
Well,
Yep.
you need defense for that. You need to
Yeah.
prove for that.
Well, here's the true examples of it, and I'll tell you what my particular one offers. And I used to be with Texas Law Shield, but this one's even better. Here's what you're going to be faced with. Okay, say it's a crackhead. Okay, crackheads have mamas and daddies and family members. It doesn't matter how they could have a rap sheet 50 miles long. You know that. But he was a great citizen. Da 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 da. So you're going to have the civil fight. They fight for that. So you're covered under that. No money up front. And then for your for your criminal, they cover that. They cover the civil also. But people don't count cleanup. And what cleanup is hazmat. They pay for the hazmat. Also, when your gun is taken, because it will be taken, you know this, it will be taken. If you do not get your gun back within 60 days, they actually give you $1,000 towards your gun.
That gun's been gone for years.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. But if it's not back within 60 days, they actually give you $1,000 towards your gun. So trust me, I read all the fine print. And also I'm covered. I've got the multiple state coverage, which they don't have to offer, but I wanted it because I travel so much. So any state I am legal to carry in, I am covered. So, and the neat thing is I just tap a button and it automatically gets an attorney, a firearms attorney in that area. And it also pays bond. So it gets you out. I mean, and all it is it's not even a lot. It's really not. I'm not going to quote their prices, but it's just, a peace of mind, because I want to keep my house. I want to keep all my own shit. I don't want to give it away to some crackhead. So that's why I've chosen to do it.
Roman's actually put up a good comment, and he said, talking about staying out of stupid places at stupid times. You're absolutely right. Know your surroundings, know where you're going. But the problem is, look at USCCA or whatever the commercial they use. That dude was in a barber shop getting a haircut.
Yep.
You don't know when it's going to happen. And obviously, it always seems to happen to good people at the most innocuous place at the worst time.
Yeah, and like I've always said, the bad element comes to the good areas.
Absolutely, because they want to steal your good stuff.
Yeah, they want to steal your good stuff. So, I just say, if you're thinking about checking into one, really check into it, read all the fine print, know what's covered, what's not covered. And if they're asking for money up front and they say we put it in a fund, it's not a good thing. You want each, because they'll cover the criminal. And if there's more money, or they don't ask for any more money, but they'll cover the criminal, and they know there's going to be a civil. So that's automatically covered too. And there's no dollar amount fixed to it. So that's the thing that I was, concerned about. That's actually a really funny comment. I got to put this in.
Don't worry about it right now.
Yeah.
I just did that like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I let my hair grow, but I got a testing process coming up. So
there you go.
I had to clean it up.
Yeah, I've sent 17 some pictures for donations before.
Nah, none needed. I'm a happily bald man.
After I get a haircut and it's all on the floor, I'll take a picture of it and send it to him. But yeah, it's, I just think if you want to be prepared, of course, carry every day, because you don't know the bad element can be in, like, Kayla's saying, in your church. It can be at a mall. It could be just walking to your car. You don't know what the hell is going to happen. So just be prepared and protect yourself and your family.
Yeah, and carry good ammo.
Yeah. And, a lot of people, they're very mag dependent, but the first thing that usually fails is a mag, and I'm not saying you got to walk around with a, gear belt on and all that stuff, but, sometimes a backup mag is a good idea too.
Yeah. I keep my factory mags fresh for the most part, and I use aftermarket mags for training, but I find that, like, especially with my Glocks, that I get about, in Arizona with the heat, I get about 8 or 9 months out of Magpul mags, and they're done. They start expanding and everything else. So, but yeah, the mags, when it comes down to me, if I start having failures and I narrow it down to the magazine, 9 times out of 10, I'm not even worried about, I'm not going to change the spring. I'm not going to do anything. I'll mark that train. I'm buying a new one, because $18 ain't worth my life.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And, I really like guns that run steel mags personally. However, steel mags, feed lips, things like that can burr. They can, when you drop them, they can bend. I mean, you got to check your gear and, go through and inspect your items for sure. Just, be prepared if you can. But, all right, we're getting about that time, a little actually over that time. If y'all haven't checked out Tactical Considerations, he's left some chat, or he'll leave another comment in there. Y'all can go in and tap it, and that'll take you straight to his channel, and you can subscribe. Please do. And yes, I do wear a pistol in my house. I don't know if y'all do. C. Kim just asked that. Do you wear a pistol in your house?
Depends. I usually have something close by, but
yes,
it just depends.
I would show them, but we can't do that. They're everywhere right now.
Yeah. If it's not physically on me, it is right there. I mean,
my wife pulled one out of the oven mitt and was like, "What's this?" That's a Walther PPS, just in case you need it. She's like, "Oh my God." She puts it in the cabinet.
Yeah, and another thing, and this is something I do, I keep mags in different areas of my house too, for the primary gun. So, because you never know if you're going to get a bad mag and you've got mags elsewhere. I don't just leave them out so people know what they are. But what's coming up on y'all's channels? What do y'all have coming up?
1776. You want to go on first on that one?
I played by ear. I don't really know what I'm doing. I've got to review the VP9 SK still. That's about it. I don't really know. I have nothing planned. I'm just going day by day.
Okay.
That's how I roll.
I like it.
There you go. How about you, TC?
Oh, so I got I just released the 16 Gamma Arrow video. I got a 14 with a pinned Epsilon coming, a 10.5-inch with a Delta coming, a 14.5-inch ballistic advantage build. I've got a 11-inch 308 FAL SBR from DS Arms coming.
Cool.
A couple 1911 videos, man. I've got a couple new Canic videos coming, man. The Jonics are coming.
Oh, there you go.
And good Lord, I've got a couple more trigger videos that I've just worked on. Some Shield S15 mags. I got a couple of those in from a buddy of mine. I got a laundry list of stuff coming.
Cool.
I'm trying to do like 3 videos every other week now, like 2 every week and then 3 every other week. So
okay, cool.
A lot of stuff coming.
Yeah, that's awesome. First, I want to tell everyone thank you so much for joining in the chat. Please give thumbs up, so we appreciate it. If you haven't checked out Tactical Consideration, please do. We'll invite him on again and do this. Y'all make this happen. But what I've got coming up is I've got the BOG. Been testing the Death Grip tripod. It is a shooting tripod, carbon fiber, and it's pretty cool. There's a lot of features that it has that it's pretty neat. Some people might not think about it and might think, why the hell do you have a shooting tripod? But I'm telling you, it's actually there's some things I'm going to talk about that I have heard nobody talk about that you can do with this thing. So anyway, and it'll hold a lot of weight too. But that's what I've got coming up. Also testing some lights. Like I said, I've got some videos on that, some more shooting videos. Been playing with the suppressors, really enjoying those. Can't wait till they get out of jail, but that's probably still going to be a while. But that's what I've got coming up. And really appreciate y'all coming on. It will be on 17's channel next Wednesday, so please tune in. If you have any questions after the chats for myself or Tactical Considerations, please leave comments, and all 3 of us will come back in after the video and, kind of try to monitor it and leave comments. Or if you have questions, we'll be glad to answer them. And we just appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate you coming on Tactical Considerations. And, means a lot you joining us this evening.
I really appreciate you guys having me. It's always a good time to talk with like-minded people, especially, now that we got the internet, man, we'll be all over the world and get together. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Definitely.
Well, thanks, everyone. Y'all have a great night and carry on.
Good night, guys.
Thanks.